I'm going to make a statement here that should not be controversial at all. If $450 is a breaking point for you for buying a new console, you don't need to buy it. If $80 for a game doesn't look like it's worth it to you, don't buy it. This is stuff that's common, right? Like, this is common sense stuff. We all have different priorities in our life. Some of us have families. Some of us have, bills to pay. Some of us are fortunate enough to live with our parents that are doing well enough on their own that they don't need our financial support. But for whatever reason, there are people out there who are actually so entitled and so delusional that they call people who have other priorities besides video games brokies or poor or entitled gamers. So, ironically enough, I used the word entitled to describe someone who was calling other people entitled. My point being is the Nintendo Switch 2 has kind of been a floodgate moment if you look at where we're talking about video games right now. We're not really talking about games themselves. We're talking about the hobby getting too expensive. And I agree, for the record, the hobby's getting too expensive. At this point, what once was a cheap hobby that a lot of us, casually do, damn near almost has to become an investment. I mean, you look at the prices of computer parts, you look at the prices of the Nintendo Switch 2, you look at the prices of the games themselves, and then you kind of look at the lackluster return on these games, how some of them, at the end of the day, just don't meet up to the standards we had 10 years ago, no less standards we have today. It's kind of been a real eye-opening moment. And I know, like, a lot of people out there, they got their favorite corporations. Obviously, I favor PlayStation. But I think all of us as gamers and as consumers, and more importantly, human beings, I think we can all kind of, come together and ask ourselves at this point, is this hobby finally getting to the point that it's just not worth it? Seriously, are we finally reached that point where at the end of the day, we just kind of give up? We just stick with what we have and that's it. We don't have to get the latest and greatest stuff. We just kind of stick to our camp and just move on. Go on to a different hobby. I don't know, trading cards are still somewhat inexpensive for the most part, if you just buy singles for the most part. But I feel like at this point, gaming's gotten too damn expensive. It really has. And I think a lot of where I point the blame is the corporate bootlicking. Because these companies see it. Listen, like I said before, I'm a fucking PlayStation guy. But I'm not so blind to PlayStation that I think everything they're doing is perfect. I think, in fact, lately I've been a little bit more down on PlayStation than I've been up on PlayStation. Don't get it twisted. I'll still defend Naughty Dog because, that's my favorite developer out there. But even then, they don't bat 100. So, yeah. But it's like, I'm open about that. I'm open with, like, hey, you know what? There are some things I'm a fanboy of. You know what? But it's not a multi-billion-dollar corporation. It's just a multi-million-dollar company that makes games. Naughty Dog, to be more specific. But I swear, this Nintendo bootlicking has gone out of hand. It really has. It's got to the point that I honestly think either these people are straight up delusional or they're grifting. They're trying to get people to make response videos about them so then they get some kind of notoriety. So they get, I guess the word kids would use is clout. And I like it either way, that's sad. Either you're so diehard Nintendo that you don't see the problem of $80 games and a $500 console bundle that's limited time, by the way, and limited time games, anti-consumer practices with stuff like, anti-ROMs and emulators only until it benefits them. Fan-made games getting shut down. Major success games getting, sued because they share a similar game mechanic. It's like the stuff Nintendo has done. There's a whole list about it. There's a whole YouTube videos looking at about it. Just look up Nintendo and Power World, and then look up Nintendo and Smash tournaments. My God, the Nintendo does not care about their fans, and I don't know why people have deluded themselves into thinking they do. I I literally don't understand it. Listen, I'm like I said, I'm a PlayStation guy, but I never pretend PlayStation was my friend. They are a corporation that I could financially support with some cash. That's all it is. It is that kind of relationship. It's not even a relationship. They provide product. If I like product, I buy product. But with Nintendo, it's like this level of like they have to hold on to their childhood so hard that they will defend. They're like defending Nintendo to them is like defending their childhood, and it's sad. These are grown ass adults doing this shit, and it's just like this is not going to benefit you in any way. Just we're all struggling right now. That's just a fact of life. It doesn't matter what country you live in, unless you're some fucking big millionaire. Which, by the way, I could use some extra cash. We're all struggling, and I literally just was watching this video, responding to another video, where I was just like, the guy literally was saying, "Oh, stop being broke. Oh, you're a failure at life because you can't buy a Switch 2. Oh, you're gonna boycott it. Well, you're such a loser." Like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Where did this attitude come from? That now you're better than people because you're gonna buy a piece of plastic that plays video games that will be obsolete in probably like 7 years. Technically, kind of obsolete now compared to the competition out there. Compared to, it's just like, what's happened? What's happened to the gaming industry? What's happened to gamers? I swear, the further I pay attention to the fanboy shit, the more I just really don't want to fucking be a gamer. Like, really, I just want to put my hands up and say, dude, I give up. I've honestly contemplated the thought of saying that, you know what, maybe this is my last console generation. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the one where I just say, you know what, I'm getting too old for this shit. I love video games. I think they're fun. But if I'm going to get priced out of this thing, I might as well recognize it sooner rather than later. That's my thoughts. At the end of the day, stop corporate bootlicking for multi-million-dollar corporations. Stop, defending companies that do not have your best interests at heart. All they have, all they want from you is your fucking money, and they want it all the time. They want you to be homeless on the streets, but don't worry, you'll have your precious Nintendo Switch 2. You just be like Daniel Larson, where you plug it into a random house you see and then get beat up by the guy who owns the place. But don't worry, you have your precious Nintendo console. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And sorry if the scene's a little down and doom and gloom. But it's like, at the same fucking time, that's honestly how I feel. Right now, I feel like that this hobby, it's coming. Like I said in a previous video, it's coming towards a crash. And honestly, I don't know if I want to be around anymore. Like not like I'm gonna end game myself or anything, but like just I don't know if I want to be a modern gamer anymore, because just things are just not good, and your precious Nintendo isn't going to save it. Long ass outro aside, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube out of BS. Bye.